join me in saluting the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's so cool when we have an audience, we can actually hear everybody doing it. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move we approve the agenda with the following amendments. Additional certified and classified personnel actions, item E3. And add item E4C, consider approval of the transportation driver's handbook.
I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Gloria. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jane, do we have anyone wanting to make their public comments today? Not that I'm aware. Dr. Carlin, I believe you're up next.
All right, thank you. We received notice from KASB that we have 4 board members who have received certificates, all for the same thing, all for achieving honor roll level 1 in the KASB Leadership Academy Training Program in 2014-15. So I'd like to present those certificates to those board members today and remind our audience and the community that serving on a school board in this elected role is not a paid position like some other elected positions are in the community and in the state. So the time that was invested in earning this certificate was additional time that board members are putting in on their own to attend trainings and participate in things outside of kind of what the normal expectation is. So from my role on behalf of the rest of the school district, I'd like to thank you all for investing that additional time in your service and those board members. So first is Laura Morris. Next is Jean Clifford. Tim Cruz. And Dr. Gloria Hopkins.
Thank you, Dr. Carlin. I'm not sure who's going to be starting us, Ms. Ritt or Ms. Merle or Mr. Heidel.
You get Polly with.
Awesome.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for allowing us to be here this evening. I'm Polly Witt. I'm the health service coordinator for the school district, and I have with me Tracy Dukes. She is the school nurse as well as the wellness champion for Gertrude Walker and Jenny Barker School. And then we have Tracy Johnson, the director of nutrition services. And then we have a very special guest with us tonight. We also have Michelle Carlton. Michelle is the project manager for the Kansas area for the Healthy Schools. So she comes to us all the way from Oklahoma. So she was here and provided us training today, and then she will be at both the schools in the morning for the awards assembly at the 2 schools. So thank you, Michelle, for coming and being with us here tonight for this award as well.
Thank you for having me.
So what is Alliance for Healthy Schools? This is an evidence-based, and I emphasize that, it's evidence-based, and that is across the nation as far as support to schools to create healthier environments. And then to recognize outstanding schools that meet the stringent requirement to become nationally recognized at the bronze level, the silver, or the gold award. So we are recognizing tonight Gertrude Walker and Jenny Barker schools for reaching the bronze award. And I emphasize that there's only 376 schools that receive this award across the nation, and only 3 in Kansas, and 2 of those were right here in Garden City, Gertrude Walker and Jenny Barker. So it is a very prestigious award that they receive. The national recognition is based on looking at the school environment and making it a priority, healthy school environment for a priority, Looking at food options during the school day and after school to making sure that those are healthy food options. Increasing opportunities for students to move and play. And looking at developing programs for teachers and for staff, because we know they are a key role model for our students. And so making sure that you're also providing that staff education for healthy school environments. The Alliance has a stringent framework that you must follow. You have to assess your school for its strengths and its weaknesses when you're looking at the health and safety of the schools. And then you have to develop a very individualized plan for your school and set goals and measurable how you're going to meet those requirements to meet the bronze level. And then you have to have a school team. It's not one person, it's an entire team to build this at the building level. The bronze has some very required levels that you have to meet in 8 areas, and you have to meet it at the bronze level in all 8 areas, not just 1 or 2, but all 6 levels. And so it's an action plan that you develop, that the school team develops, and then you have to meet this framework. The 6 areas, and this doesn't show up on that one, but it does over here. You're looking at policies, and we thank the board for the policies that you have set, like our wellness policy and some of our food policies. So we thank you for that, because part of looking at a healthy school environment is looking at your policies at the district level. But you also look at health education that you provide to students. You look at your physical education. How many minutes of physical education minutes do each student get during the school day? Or other physical activities that you provide for students to get up and be moving throughout the school day. You look at your nutrition services. And Tracy does a fantastic job of keeping us in compliance with the national and state levels when you're looking at nutrition services. And then health promotion, as I said earlier, we know staff serve as a key role model. All staff, we serve as a role model for our students. So we look at health promotion for staff. And then another key element for the Alliance is looking at family and community involvement. And we know that's one of the board's school improvement plans as well, as community and school involvement. So this bronze level looks at all 6 of those areas. So Teresa now is going to talk about some of the challenges and some of the ways that she met and her team met to make sure that they reach the bronze level.
Some of our challenges that we have to meet before we can ever even establish many of those things is first we have to, in order to accomplish brain energizers in the class, which some call them brain breaks. If I asked you to sit here for 3 hours, you get pretty tired and the kids get pretty wiggly too. So physical activities in the classroom, so finding ways to do that and not try to interrupt their curriculum, but yet support it. And organizing and planning and preparing for health events, it takes time and effort to organize an event and have enough volunteers to help you put that event together. And sponsoring and applying for grants, finding funding for health events, encouraging a healthy lifestyle. We do not have any funding for it, so we have to write grants or find ways to fund our events as well. Can you go back one? Oh, sorry. I think the other one that was on there that I hadn't talked about yet was bringing the whole team together for the events. So in order to really have a health event, pretty much the schools have to come together as a staff. We seek help from our community. We seek help from the parents as well. And so pretty much it takes a big effort to put a health event together for us all to enjoy, including our students, staff, parents, and all involved. The other challenge that we have is the lack of PE time is keeping our district from receiving more awards like these. So some schools don't have the same amount of PE time across the district. So this is, I'm just going to share with you some of the events we've had at our school and let you see kind of the things we've done. Each year we support Bike Your Child to School Day. I hope across the community you've seen what we've seen. We've seen many more people out enjoying our community. More are running, more are being healthy, and so that's our goal, is to encourage that across the community. This is Megan. She came out to Jenny Barker and put on a presentation on Walk Your Child to School Day for the kids there, teaching bicycle safety.
Megan's with the Garden City Rec.
Yes. And this is our Gertrude Walker School Day this year, Walk to School Day. The police department department came out in outstanding numbers to help us celebrate this day, and they're pictured here with some of our students and our mascot. Here's Mr. Kydell, the same day greeting students as they're entering our building on that day. Another big key component in this grant is Farm to School, and so we've done projects over the years. Jenny Barker even sought to bring in parents in their tractors, and they learned about how the farm is going to eventually end up in their lunch tray. So they kind of learn how it all works together. This is the teachers getting the hands-on experience with planting the vegetables at school. This is Polly, our secretary, Gertrude Walker, and plus our secretary and Jenny Barker and all of them. They have to continually explain our wellness policy because parents don't understand why we've changed cupcakes in the classroom. And you know, when you bring 25 cupcakes a year to the classroom plus every candy and every cookie, it really starts to add up. So they spend a lot of time explaining our wellness policy and the changes we've made to be healthier. Another program that we are involved in is Power Panther Pals, and it's a state program. And here you see on the table where the kids were allowed to sample fruits and vegetables. And in every presentation they also have a classroom activity. And you can see our staff member here, Tina, she's doing the physical activity with them. She's actually our custodian, but she was participating with them. The Body Walk came to Florence Wilson, and Jenny Barker was a part of that as well. We bused our kids to that to enjoy the Body Walk. If you're not familiar with the Body Walk, it's a life-size example of a human body. And as the kids walk through it, they can learn about their body and the importance of staying healthy. Here is more of the Body Walk. And throughout this presentation, it emphasizes much of the science curriculum. And also, you know, through all these programs, it also enhances the math and the English curriculums. Here's just a flyer of one of our health nights that we had that we send home to our parents and put that out there so they'll come to our events. This is something else we've had to coordinate because some of our families don't have a way to get to our events. We work with the Health Coalition, and a bus will actually bus them to our school. This is from the Health Coalition, their bus that they've gotten a local church to support them and bring them to our events so that the parents can come with them and participate. This is as they're entering the building for one of our family nights. We have really good luck in getting our parents there. They're very supportive, so it's usually a really fun night for staff, students, and anybody that comes along with parents. Here is Mr. Kydell, and here they've found a way, each teacher is kind of asked to invent a way to implement math and physical activity along with the event, so they're interacting the physical activity with math and a trivia where they walk across the floor, and the parents participate as well. Here is the we were able to write a grants through Blue Cross Blue Shield for the Healthy Habits, and we received WEs for both buildings, and these work really good when a teacher wants to reward the kids in some way for, you know, accomplishing their work or indoor recess. Here's Halia. She's one of our wellness student leaders. She's here with us tonight. And she is actually our Rise and Shine before school 5-minute exercise leader for our school at Jenny Barker. And here she's also participating in the talent program. Here is Mrs. Hamlin, and she is actually leading Go Noodle. Go Noodle is a very popular program with the Healthy Schools, and it is a very interactive program with physical activity implemented with math or English so that they can learn those things at the same time they are actually exercising. So it's found a way to increase their activity in the classroom but not take away from their learning. And across the district, our school nurses have we're on our 13th year of having our health week and promoting our health nights. So we've come a long way from where we started 13 years ago when it didn't exist. So this is just one example of a health night we've had and a health week we've had. It just goes through and takes the staff and the students and parents, if they want to participate, through some activities in the week to promote health. This is Mrs. Merle. This year we had a really neat student come. He's not a student, he's actually an adult. but the students got to enjoy. Ian can see he's in the wheelchair, and he's talking about how even he needs to be physically active, and how he learned to be physically active in school and play basketball. So he was a real big inspiration to the kids. Here's Mrs. Miller. She is on one of our health nights, instead of tossing the ring to the pop like we once did, now we toss it to the water. And the kids are very happy to receive the water. They don't complain about not getting a pop, so they just like the winning part of it, so they get to take the bottle of water home with them. This right here is Mrs. Shirley's. She is very big in promoting Power Panther Pals and working it in with our science curriculum. She had the students here draw the pyramid and what they've learned in the 8-week program for Power Panther Pals. Samantha is here tonight. She's pictured, and Samantha and Caitlin are here. They are Gertrude Walker Junior Wellness Leaders for our schools, and they've helped, and Haley has helped lead programs over the years. This is Gertrude Walker doing apple tasting, where the parents and students can taste different types of apples at the health night. Another program we worked with was the Adopt a School program, where they came in and they worked with our students. Annette here is reading the book to the kids, where they've learned about germs, they've learned about gardening, they've also learned about dental, to be healthy with your teeth. Here's one of our students that are enjoying her snack and her activity. Every time she came, they also had an activity to go with the program. And here's Tracy. She's our nutrition director, which these awards would not be possible without her. She received the HUSK Award, which is part of these awards for all of our schools in the district, so wonderful of her to accomplish such an outstanding task. And this is led by our district. This is a community event that we put together so parents and kids and students can all come and enjoy the community events as well. Here's the picture of the kids just being active in school and realizing to be active and stay active for a lifetime. And here they're doing the same, and they're loving it, and they realize it helps you feel better. This is more of the Jam and Minute, which is much like Go Noodle. It allows the students to just stand up and do a quick 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. There's different programs out there just to get the wiggles out in the classroom, and then kind of slows them down to sit back down and do their work. And all staff and all participate when we do that. So overall, healthy kids perform better on tests, get better grades, attend school more often, and behave better in class. And to sum it up here is, it took us all. Can people from Gertrude Walker and Jenny Parker please stand up, because you're a huge part of this. It could not be possible without each and every one of you. And any community members as well that are here, I recognize you. And because of the Alliance and the award, they took Holly and I to Washington, D.C. to be a part of the Leaders Summit there, and we flew out to Washington, D.C. and can we go back? We're just pictured showing us at Washington, D.C. and being a big part of
really did go.
Yeah. We got to hear speakers such as Julian Michaels, Chelsea Clinton, and Jason Collins. It was really awesome. And here's just the picture after the banquet. Michelle was there with us, and very nice that they actually fed us the foods that were created by students through Michelle Obama's program. Do you want to show the awards, Polly? Each school received actually 2 awards, not just one. We received the award from the Alliance, and also from the Alliance is through Bill Clinton, his foundation, and the Let's Move Active Schools is through Michelle Obama's program.
So as you can see, the schools had to incorporate a lot of physical activity as well as nutrition education within the curriculum. We're not taking away from the academic time. We're trying to incorporate it and make it all one, because we all leave a legacy, and we need to consider what is our legacy going to be as far as regarding healthy habits. And so we would like to have the 3 students please come forward. This is our future, and these 3 girls have been pure models for all the other schools, other students at their schools. And Teresa, you can introduce them.
This is Samantha Madeira and Caitlin Madeira. They are from Gertrude Walker. They have all kind of had some struggles with me encouraging people, but they've been real troopers and hung right in there for all of our events. And this is Haley Horney. She is our wellness student leader from Jenny Barker, and she leads the exercise in the morning at Jenny Barker as well. So I totally convinced her.
The program is also trying to encourage that leadership amongst our students, and so they have done a great job. The staff and the parents and the community, all of it is a total award. To get this bronze award is really fantastic to receive this national award. And, thank you, girls, for all
Yes,
that you do
thank
to
you.
help make that
Would
possible.
you like to meet the board? Yeah.
And I just real quickly like to say thank you to Holly, Teresa, Tracy, the students, and everybody involved. This is a very competitive award. Over 1,000 applications come into the Alliance, and 376 were awarded this year. So it's very competitive, and I'd like to thank them for going above and beyond their daily duties to make these types of strategies happen in their school. We know that the schools are a very integral part of our children, and this is where we can impact them the most. So teaching them healthy habits is going to last them a lifetime. So thank you. I'm excited to continue to work with them, and hopefully we'll achieve silver this year. And thank you for the support of the administration, because without the support they couldn't be where they are today. So congrats to you guys, and thanks for everybody's support in their endeavors.
I have one thing to add. Mr. Kydell, could you stand up, please? Mr. Kydell, what was your attendance at Gertrude Walker on Walk to School Day?
100%. We had everything.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Carl Smith, who's been there for 35 years, the secretary, said that she believes this is the first time we've ever had 100% attendance like that. I think there was a kid that wanted to go to a doctor, and she wouldn't let him. No, it was great. It really was. It was a great time that day.
So next year we need to put it on count day.
Yeah. We'll do that.
But thank you to the board for the support. And tomorrow morning at 7:15, we will be at Jenny Barker and the students, and we will be doing an awards assembly. You all are invited to that. And then at 8:15, we will be at Gertrude Walker to present the schools with the awards that they also receive. So thank you.
Thank you. Madam President, I think we should go noodle every hour of our board meeting so that we play better with others. I think the jam session would be better. All right, whatever. Please, Chief.
I just wanted to say that this is exactly what we need to be doing. I'd like to see all of our schools try to participate and earn these awards, because the habits that our young students learn at this age are going to stick with them throughout their lifetime and have so many benefits. And it's wonderful that these two schools have done this, and I'd really like to see more of our schools participate in this and maybe earn these awards. I know this is the way that Garden City is looking to be in the future. We're looking to have more walking and biking and activity available for people who live here. So I think it's great that you're able to do that, and it's such great participation in the Walk Bike to School Day. So congratulations, that's great. I think you're leading the way.
Can I ask Haley a question? Haley, can you tell us a little bit about what you do before school and like just an idea of like how many students do it with you?
The whole school does it, and we do like jump jacks, leg lifts, anything that will get their brains awake.
Awesome. So you just get their oxygen pumping so they're ready to go?
You can come up with whatever that you think will work that day.
That's great. And you've done it since school started this year? Like this is your year?
Yeah.
And you did it last year too?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So the whole school, like you just do it like at the beginning, once the bell rings, you just...
Before they go to the classroom.
Awesome. Well, good job. I appreciate your leadership and you being a role model for your peers. That's awesome. And your other students as well. That's great. So, you do the same type thing at your school?
Yeah, we also had this jump rope thing, like this jump rope marathon, and we got a jump rope in front of public school.
Oh, that's great. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Awesome. Comments or questions? Thank you so much. I know we all appreciate everything that all of you do. So, and thank you for all the support that you came today for students in this event.
So much for coming.
Thank you. There's more interesting things to listen to. We're going to talk about transportation. Right? We won't need transportation if everybody walks to school. I know that Dr. Carter had to be the bad guy for me though, earlier this year because little Carl wanted to bike to school. It's about 2 miles. And it's dark on that dirt road. At least upstate.
Hello, my name is Charlie Stillian. I'm the Director of Transportation for Garden City Public Schools. This is J.L. Ray. She's our administrative assistant out there. She's in charge of the payroll and finance and that type of thing. We're both pretty new to the transportation department. I'm not new to the district. I've been here this is my 3rd year now, but I've been there for since July 1st, and JL has been with us since August 1st. Pretty much right after I got there, the young lady named Lisa Wild, who had been there for quite a while, came in and said, I'm moving. I'm going to move closer to family. And so JL was lucky enough to get a month with her kind of on the job training, and then she's taken over since and done a fabulous job for us. So we're here to give you kind of an overview of what the year's been like so far for us. The mission statement we kind of came up with, the Transportation Department's purpose is to provide safe, secure, and timely transport for Garden City students to and from school and/or activities through highly trained and dedicated staff. We're working, the safe part we're working on, we have brand new cameras in the buses, so that's a plus. We feel like that's going to help with the safety part. Secure, we want the kids to feel like they have a friend on the bus. We've been telling all the bus drivers that you're the first person the kids see when they start the day, you're the last person they see when they end the day. So how you are with them in the morning and how you are with them at night kind of goes a long way into how their day is going to be and how they're going to view school. And the timely part, we're working on that one. Different things, various days. Sometimes we're right on time, and other times things happen, and we can't do a whole lot about that. The wreck on 3rd and Mary Street today. I had a number of phone calls from schools. Where are the buses? They had to reroute around the wreck. Well, they'll be there. So those are things, and again, the timely part, that's one of those things that I want the buses to run on time because I feel like those kids need to be there on time. Personnel in our office, we have 4 office assistants. We have a routing secretary, a dispatcher, JL is payroll, and then we have a garage, someone who kind of oversees all the POs for the garage and the maintenance. We have 5 maintenance staff, 2 diesel mechanics, 2 auto mechanics, and we have 1 bus washer. Right now we have 33 route drivers who drive 4 wheelchair routes. We are down to 3 substitute drivers, and we have 3 activity drivers. And that's their full-time job. One of the activity drivers is also, he also does double duty as our driver trainer. So when we get new drivers in or new sub-drivers, that driver trainer will take him in, or take those in and work with them. One of the things we've also implemented this year, or just recently, is if we feel like a driver needs remedial training, they get to go and see the driver trainer and have 2 to 3 hours of remedial training. And those are things if, whatever we see. One of the things that I've also instituted is I've been riding the buses with the drivers. I started last week and I'm doing bus driver evaluations. And I've got plans to do every single one before the end of the semester, and then I'll do another round in the second semester with them to see how things are going on the buses. And one of the things about the 33 route drivers, right before the school year began, or right before probably beginning of August, 2 drivers that we were planning on coming back just abruptly retired with very little moment notice. So that's why we're down to 3 substitute drivers, because 2 of our substitute drivers had to move up and become route drivers all of a sudden. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of an overview of our serviced routes, what we do each day. There's a list of all the schools, morning and afternoon. The smaller number, for instance, Abe Hubert, we have 3 buses going to Abe Hubert in the morning, bringing in 94 students from various places throughout town. A lot of them are in the Abe Hubert district, but they're in something called a walk zone. We don't allow them, or non-walk zone. We don't allow them to cross highways. We don't allow them to cross railroad tracks. So we end up picking them up even though they are within that 2.5-mile range. And then you see afternoon, same thing. We have 3 buses. We pick up 2 more kids in the afternoon. We have some schools. Georgia Matthews is a good example. Florence Wilson. You see some smaller numbers there. Those are the neighborhood schools that we don't really bus to because most of the students that live in there are there. The small numbers just indicate that they've had a force out from some other school. When we have class sizes that are too full in one of the schools, they find out what school they have room in, and they'll try to get them to that school. So that's why Georgia Matthews, we have no buses going there in the morning, but we have 1 bus going by in the afternoon to pick up 1 student to get him back to his home address.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, sir.
Why is the difference between morning and afternoon?
What we normally find out in the afternoon, there are more students that ride home in the afternoon. Mom and dad can drop them off on the way to school. In the afternoon, they're still working, things are still going on. Maybe big brother or big sister have an activity that they're still in and they can't go get them. So we tend to see the numbers going up in the afternoons predominantly, which is the other bad part. We tend to have fewer drivers or fewer buses going to those schools in the afternoon, so they're a little bit more crowded. Simply for the fact that we have a lot of activities going on after school. Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays we don't have school, but Thursdays and Fridays we tend to have quite a few drivers out because of activities going on that we're transporting a lot of students to, which cuts down on the number of students going home, but it's still fewer buses going out.
Can I ask a follow-up?
Yes, sir. And there,
Just curious on the kids that are dropped off, because, well, what's the policy on dropping off kids? Does there have to be a parent or an adult around, or do we have designated spots we just drop them off?
It depends on the situation. If they're a door-to-door student, we drop them off at their door. If they're an older student and they have the access to get into the home, they're allowed to go into the home. Typically, kindergartners, first graders, second graders, a lot of our drivers will stick around to make sure that they have somebody to let them in. Definitely the Garfield students, there has to be a parent or a guardian there to pick them up. I've had some calls about parents wondering if we just drop them off. We don't drop off a preschool student without anybody there to pick them up. And that's whether it's a door-to-door or a school-to-school. We have some stops where we go to Buffalo Jones, say, and that's our transfer point. If the parents can get them to Buffalo Jones, we put them on the bus and get them to Garfield. We take them back there after Garfield is over, and we wait and make sure that a parent is there to pick up every student. We do not drop them and go. Depends, high school students, middle school students, we do have designated stops for them, and those we pull up, drop off, and then they disperse and move on home. But generally, those younger students, we make sure that someone is there to allow entry into the home. And then there's, like I said, down there, there's our total so far, 94 buses going into schools in the mornings for about 2,264. And then in the afternoon, it's about almost 200 more, and we'll see that number growing very soon, because once the winter months hit and students don't want to walk home, we'll be getting probably inundated with transportation requests that they want to hop on a bus so that they don't have to walk home now. So, and then so far this year, I just thought I'd give you I said that we had a lot of activities going on. So far this year, we've had 194 non-bus trips, and that's anything from a van trip, a car trip, SUV trips. Those can be anything. We have people that take cars to conferences. When Tracy goes to a conference in Wichita, she gets a car from us, takes one over to Wichita. The van trips, tennis, girls tennis, boys golf, all of those sports that are smaller, they tend to take vans to activities. The debate team takes quite a few of our SUVs and vans to their competitions. And so far we've transported 601 students and 313 staff in those trips so far this year. And then down at the bottom, we've had 268 bus trips. That's beyond the normal routes that we run. 136 field trips, shuttles, and the APE over there stands for Adaptive PE. We take students from the high school out to the YMCA or Hard Rock Lanes, and they do some bowling activities, and we shuttle them back and forth. And then we've had 132 sports trips so far that have buses. We didn't put the numbers up there of the students because it fluctuates so often. We could say this is how many they said that they're going to take, but it never ends up being that exact number. So, but again, quite busy so far for the first 2 months of school. And now that we have our volleyball team and our cross-country team headed to state, we'll have 2 more coming up this weekend. So that's a great thing. And then I don't know if you can see just some of the things that we've had so far this year. Up in the upper left-hand corner, it's hard to see, but there's a big black box on the side over here. Then you can see the 2 cameras, one facing down and one facing out. Like I said, those are our bus cameras. The big black box is the hard drive that picks everything up. If we have an incident on a bus, when the bus comes back, they say that whatever happened, we can pull that hard drive out, take it in, plug it in, and we can go back and view the footage on the cameras and see everything going on. I've already had a number of students that have come out and said, wow, the cameras are on the bus, now we have to be good. Yes, I would have liked for you to have been good without the cameras, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I was sitting on a bus the other day and they came on and they said, those are the cameras, right? Yes, they are. Those pick up sound, right? Yes, they do. And everybody went and sat down, and it was a really quiet bus the whole way to school. It was very nice. So the bus drivers are loving that. The Suburbans that you also so generously allowed us to get, when I say they've arrived just in time, it's hard to see that Suburban on the other side. This was taken in our garage. The Suburban on the other side had the hood up, and they were working on it. They've been working on it for about 2 weeks. So that's why I said it arrived just in time. And then our time clocks, we moved over to that on October 5th. Our mechanics, our office staff, they've been on the time clocks for a couple of years at least, or at least since the time clocks came in. We just put the bus drivers on them. That's what the October 5th is. So it's a work in progress. JL would probably say that it's a little stressful.
We have a lot of drivers who are basically computer illiterate. So getting them to understand if they don't clock out, they have to go into the computer and make the adjustments is a bit stressful for all of them. So, but they're dealing with it fairly well.
We've had one gentleman already come to us and say, if this continues, I may have to find another job. And we told him, no, you're not gonna find another job, we're gonna work with you, we will help you. So we've kind of taken him under our wing, and we're gonna do whatever we can to keep him there, because he's a great driver, and we don't wanna lose him for something like that.
All of the drivers are needing encouragement.
All of the drivers need it.
There are special cases.
But that's kind of what's going on out in the transportation department right now, so we appreciate you letting us come out and talk to you and let you know what's going on. If you have any questions or anything, if you'd like to come out and see us someday, we welcome all visitors.